Yet again, you're not protecting me. Yet again, now you're taking me back to my childhood. Now I'm feeling exposed. Now I'm feeling naked. Now I'm feeling like the very person that begged me to come here is gonna play in my face for what reason? If we really get to the nitty gritty of things, out of everybody on this cast, technically I am the basketball wife. My father played basketball, but he's a coach now. Nobody else on this cast is married to someone that is currently in the league. That's not me tooting my own horn. If we're talking about the title of this show, that's what it is.
Between you and your mom.
The first scene.
In the apartment?
Apartment. Now, put your producer hat on.
Okay.
Follow me here. Now, everybody is saying from the first scene that she came in, you act like you was on 10. You were so disrespectful. Understand something. My mom met my son when he was 7 months old. When she comes in the door and I say, oh, he got to warm up. That's me for real, as a mama bear. I'm not going to put him in your arms for the sake of these cameras and have him on here howling and carrying on. I want him to be comfortable. I set out when I signed up to do this show to really establish the real in reality TV. I understand that people have grown accustomed to seeing these women get on here and sit down and fight and argue and throw drinks and go to dinner and talk about the same thing. And that wasn't what I signed up for. I'm going to be my real, true, authentic self. Whoever likes it, likes it. Whoever doesn't, that's okay too. So you're seeing these little, nuances or whatever in our relationship. This is our real dynamic. And I'm not going to get on here and pretend for anybody. Here you go. Here's grandma. I wasn't going to do that. Why would I do that to this is my real son. This is not no prop, baby.
And how old was your son at the time of that scene?
I think 9 months postpartum. So he was like 9-10 months. Right in there.
So your mother met your son for the first time?
At 7 months.
Was that the second time she was around him?
That was maybe the third, right within there. I think that she had, because obviously I had been in LA in that apartment well before we started filming, right? Like a week or two or whatever. She had seen him on different occasions, but not, my mom is not picking up my son, taking him to the park. This is not one of those sort of situations. You can come over and see him. You can come and visit him. Absolutely. Like I'm not going to keep you from your grandkids, right? But you also don't have that sort of typical grandparent relationship with him, right? She may have had that with my daughter because I lived in Sacramento at the time. So for the first 2.5 years of her life, you are able to see her. You are able to have these great experiences as a grandparent. But when it comes to my son, that wasn't the case. So fast forward, she comes in, she sits down, we're having our little, talk, whatever. She says, and I haven't said this publicly. She says, Vanna, I don't mean to pry, but how are things with, and insert my daughter's father's name. She says, how are things with Stacy? And I'm like, I know you fucking didn't. Now, mind you, leading up to this, we've had multiple conversations that we will not talk about that on this platform. I'm in the thick of a custody battle. I'm going through nobody out of my grandmother's 9 kids. Nobody in our family has ever had any sort of custody, court, anything family-wise. They always figured it out amongst themselves. So here I am in the middle of this very heavy, serious situation. You promise me that you are not going to talk about it. You promise me that you will not bring it up. And if somebody else brings it up, you could just get up and you could just walk away, don't engage. And you get in here in the first scene and you throw me under the bus. Now, as a producer, we don't know what's going to be used. Mm-hmm. At this point, I don't know if they're going to use it. I don't know if this is going to get legs. I don't know if now they're going to take this and say, Brandy, ask her about her daughter's father, or such and such, ask her about the court case. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I know that you and I had multiple conversations leading up to the start of filming. We agreed we would not talk about this. Understand, my daughter has her father. My sister has her father. Mom, you have a child from a previous relationship, just like I do. Do you want me to come in here and sit down and say, so how are things with Tyrone? Have you talked to him lately? What is the drama like? That would have been so messy. That would have been so crazy and tacky on my part as your daughter. So you can do that to me and I'm just supposed to eat it. Now, you and Dustin both said she's very well versed at this. She knows what she's doing. She knows there are certain things that you just don't, because you had so much meat and bones and things you could have talked about. What is life like with your husband living here and you living there with the kids? And there's so much we could have talked about. Why would you come on here and bring up my daughter's father when you know the dynamic? And you think that I'm not going to feel some sort of way? You know me. So I didn't allow that to ruffle my feathers on camera. I gave her a very, diplomatic answer. Just, we're trying to work through this as a family. Hopefully, the judge will approve the relocation and whatever, as best as I could wrap it up in that moment. While in my mind, I'm spiraling. I'm like, this lady did not just do this. When we wrapped filming, I called my dad, I called my brother, I called my husband. I said, she's on some bullshit. She's on some bullshit. I don't know why she brought me here. I don't know why she would do that. And collectively, they're all like, what? There's no way she got on camera and said that. They did not believe me. I said, on my children, this is what she just got in here and said. And you know you're wrong, which is why you led it with, I don't mean to pry, but you're being messy. You are being so messy right now. For what reason? There was 1,000 things we could have talked about. If you guys sold me on the idea that you're trying to bring back basketball wives, you're trying to bring it back into the fold and talk about the things in the NBA and so on and so forth. Why are we not talking about that? What does my ex and whatever we have going on with my minor daughter have to do with right now? Are you serious? No, Banna, I did. I said, Mom, so you mean to tell me that we haven't had multiple discussions? Well, I didn't know that. I was just saying it so I could just get it out the way.
Because one thing that, and this is me being real with you, one thing that all of us collectively who watch the show and love your mom's personality on the show is your mother's a great reality star.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So we know that your mother has the ability to bring up stuff or say stuff or do stuff for the entertainment of the show. So in that moment, you felt like you're playing it up for the cameras.
You're playing it up for the cameras with me, your blood daughter, who we're supposed to be. This storyline is that we are rebuilding and I'm living in the same building. You're able to, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
no, I do.
That is the plan. And then you come in here and you throw me under the bus like I'm one of your castmates. I don't really understand where you're coming from.
Got it.
But now going forward, you still want my loyalty. You still want me to hold you in this high regard and paint this picture that everything is great.